Get ready for the biggest week yet of the Texas high school football season. These are the picks. Welcome into the picks, your guide to Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. So I'm going to be honest. Week 2 of the Texas high school football season, it was a good slate of games. It wasn't amazing. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact there weren't many games in the Houston area. It was a good slate of games. It wasn't overwhelming. Week 3, we are getting down to business. This is a huge week of games across the state, and we start in Katy. 6 o'clock Saturday night at Katy's Legacy Stadium. It's the Katy Tigers taking on the Woodlands Highlanders in a massive 6A clash. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number 1, between the 20s. So both these teams are pretty young, still trying to figure themselves out. They only have 8 starters back from last year's team. So I think that field position is going to play a big role in who wins this game. Who's able to tilt the field, be it with defense or with special teams, that I think is a key factor in this matchup. Key number 2, between the tackles. So the old football adage is stop the run and establish the run, right? Well, I think that that's especially critical in this matchup. Of course, you know what Katy's about. They want to run the ball with their outstanding running back, DeAndre Glass. And on the other side, the Woodlands going to try to stop them with their linebacker, Jackson Shearer, and that fierce front 7. On the other side, you know, we don't really know what the Woodlands offense is going to look like, but you figure they're going to lean on this big offensive line led by Jake Siptak. Can Michael Mattis and Katy stop them with their front 7? I think between the tackles is extremely critical in this matchup. And key number 3, between the ears. So this is the first game for both of these teams after the devastating effects of Hurricane Harvey in the Houston area. Now, luckily, both of these towns were spared the worst of the storm, but make no mistake, they were affected by it, if only because they've had to wait an extra couple of weeks to play their first game of the year. This is going to be an interesting matchup to see how these coaches get these teams prepared for this game, simply because there's been so much unknown in the past couple of weeks. Who is able to handle the mental game? Who am I picking? I'm going with Katy. I think being at home helps, opening that brand new beautiful Legacy Stadium there in Katy. And when in doubt, you go with the team with the single best player. That's DeAndre Glass, the running back for Katy. For the Woodlands, I think they've got a very high upside, but there's still so many unknowns we don't know about this team. Who's going to be the go-to guy for this offense? Who's going to step up on their usually outstanding defense? I think the Woodlands has a very high ceiling, but I think that Katy is more of a finished product right now. That's why I think the Tigers take home the victory. Let's head down to the Valley now. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at McAllen's Memorial Stadium. It's the McAllen Memorial Mustangs taking on the San Benito Greyhounds. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number 1, San Benito in play action. So you're going to hear a lot about San Benito quarterback Eric Retta. He is fantastic. He can make all the throws you need him to make. But when San Benito is best, they are getting their running game going with their running back, Tyrone Harper. That's been a big key to their success early in the year. Get Harper going and then pull it back for play action and let Retta let it loose. Can San Benito establish play action, or will the McAllen Memorial defense have something to say about it? Key number 2, big plays from Memorial's defense. So it's only been 2 games, but this Memorial defense has already hit its stride. They have 8 turnovers already, which is really fantastic. And this is a senior-laden group. They are ready for prime time right now with their outstanding linebacker, Jacob Bagstad, and their defensive back, Ace Chavez. Can they make a couple of big, game-changing plays like they have in their first 2 games, or will San Benito avoid the big turnover? And key number 3, conditioning. So I think this is going to be a close game. I think it figures to be pretty close into the 4th quarter, and that's where conditioning is going to come in very, very effectively. You look over on McAllen Memorial, they want to run the ball with their outstanding running back, Campbell. Will those gains turn from 2 and 3 yards into 6 and 8 yards there in the 4th quarter? Kind of the same way for this San Benito offense. Will they be able to hit some big plays late because of their conditioning? I think you need to keep an eye on who is the most fresh entering the final frame to figure out who wins this one. Who am I picking? I'm going with McAllen Memorial. I think that they're going to be able to run the ball with Campbell Spates, and I think that that senior-laden defense is going to be able to make a couple of plays to really change the game. Eric Retta could have a very big night. Of course, it would be better if they were able to get both the run and the pass going, but for now, I think McAllen Memorial wins this one. Tons of intrigue 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Edna's Cowboy Stadium as Edna welcomes in East Bernard. So many storylines here. The biggest one, of course, the coach at Edna is Jerry Long, who led East Bernard to a state championship game. These are two slot T offenses. Really excited to see what they're able to do against one another. For now, I think East Bernard's defense leads them to a win. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Bearcat Stadium in Aledo. It's the Aledo Bearcats taking on Mansfield Legacy. This is a big test for Aledo, I think. Remember, they're still pretty young, a lot of sophomores and juniors getting major run, and they're going up against an outstanding and explosive Legacy squad led by two-way star Jalen Catalon. I think this game is close. I think Aledo gets tested, but I do think the Bearcats pull out the win. Let's go west, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Roscoe's Plowboy Field. It's the Roscoe Plowboys welcoming in the Albany Lions. I think this Roscoe team is a real sleeper. Love this running back, Francisco Garcia, but my question for them is what they do defensively against an outstanding Albany attack led by their quarterback, Brian Hamilton. This is a real litmus test here for Roscoe. Are they for real? Even if they just keep it close, I think that would bode well. For now, I think the Lions of Albany take home the victory. But those are far from the only big games in Week 3 of the Texas high school football season. Let's get to the lightning round. I think Hutto wins their district game against Georgetown. Give me Jim Ned to take down Anson, and Madisonville stays hot with a win over Caldwell. I think Wall's the best team in 3A. I think they beat Lago Vista. Give me Midlothian Heritage very, very close over Decatur, and I'm going to go with Carthage over White House. Another big Houston area matchup, I like Spring Westfield very close over Galena Park North Shore. I'm going with Hallettsville to take down Bowling, and Pampa beats Hereford. Who bounces back after upset losses last week? I think China Spring beats Cameron Yo. I'm going to go with Henderson to beat Pittsburgh, and John Tyler takes down Lufkin. I'm going to go the Unicorns over the Rattlers. That's New Braunfels over San Marcos. I like Sundown to beat Seagraves, and Temple stays hot with a win over Hewitt Midway. Really interesting matchup in Texoma. I like Graham to beat Wichita Falls Hershey. Give me George West over Odom, and Lexington over Rockdale. Let's go south, north, south. I like Dilley to beat Cotulla. I like Childress to edge Iowa Park, and I think Edinburgh Villa beats Brownsville Veterans Memorial. Tough game to call in Houston. I like Houston Lamar to beat Klein Collins. Give me Alpine to stay hot with a win over Pecos, and Ira Ann beats McCamey. I'm buying in on El Paso Parkland. I think they beat El Paso Eastlake. Give me West Orange Stark to beat Bridge City, and San Antonio Brandeis takes down Bernie Champion. I like Hugh Sandifer's Abilene Wiley Bulldogs to beat Denison, and in our six-man game of the week, I like Borden County over Calvert. And those are the picks. What am I wrong about? Which games did I leave out? Leave comments down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbells. And of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks for watching. Enjoy Week 3 of the Texas high school football season. We'll see you.